Yeah, we can go from there. But Habitat for Humanity in New York City, we've been around since 1986, and this is an independently operated affiliate of Habitat for Humanity International. That means that they don't receive funding or any operations from the international organization in Georgia. That being said, Habitat for Humanity in New York City's mission is to transform lives and communities by building and preserving affordable homes for hardworking low-income families and uniting all New Yorkers around the cause of affordable housing. So the last part of the mission is something that's unique to Habitat NYC, because we were one of the first affiliates in the United States to have an advocacy department. So Habitat, the part about building homes in New York City, the Restore supports that part of the mission because at the Restore we sell donated furniture, appliances, decor, and building materials at 50 to 80% off. So the proceeds from these sales go to Habitat for Humanity New York City, which funds their operations and allows them to keep building for hardworking low-income families. That being said, another way that the Restore fits into Habitat's mission is the volunteer opportunities that we have here are open to our home buyers, and a home buyer that partners with Habitat for Humanity has to earn a certain amount of hours. They're called sweat equity hours. So sweat equity is this idea that partnering with Habitat for Humanity is not only a way for a home buyer to have a more affordable chance at owning a home, but also to improve another human right, which is dignity or self-confidence, I guess is another way to say it. Sweat equity is this idea that a homeowner gets to put in sweat or hours into the home that they're gonna own. So an indirect way that they can do that is by volunteering, like you guys have signed up to do, with the Restore and earn hours towards their sweat equity requirement. Do you guys have any questions at this point?
So there is like a Restore and BWK and two other operations we do under the Habitat for Humanity. So there's like a different location for that, or if somebody wants to do the BWK, they can come here and sign up for that or something?
That's a good question. So the Restore is only a part of Habitat for Humanity in New York City. So there's a couple of different ways that you can volunteer, and a couple of different ways home buyers can earn their sweat equity hours.
Okay.
So the Restore is one of them. There's also construction projects. The homes that we're building are currently in Queens. But then there's also, like you mentioned, BWK, which stands for A Brush with Kindness. And that's a program where volunteers get to revitalize like community centers or like more public areas. Most of the time it's like painting murals, which a team leader will design and then like delegate the pieces to the volunteers. So these are all of these opportunities fall under Habitat for Humanity in New York City, and you can sign up for them through the Habitat NYC website. Yeah, you wouldn't have to necessarily come here to sign up for the other ones, but does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Did you guys have any other questions about Habitat or the Restore?
Do you want to talk about a little bit more about the advocacy?
Sure.
Yeah.
So our advocacy department is, I'll talk about, I guess, like the last thing that they wrapped up. But the advocacy department, basically their goal is to stay on top of like policy that will affect affordable housing in New York City, but then also how it might affect like our volunteer process. And so the last like success that our advocacy department had was there was like a bill that was being proposed that would require volunteers, specifically Habitat for Humanity volunteers, in our case, to like take like a class before they could join our site, and it was like I think like 40 hours or something of this like training that new volunteers would be required to take before they could actually step onto a Habitat volunteer opportunity site. And that would just make like volunteering less accessible to the public, and therefore that would hold up the the construction project timeline, which means at the end of the day that the home buyers that we're partnering with are going to get into their houses a lot later than they could have. So our advocacy department, working with like the relationships they had with lawmakers, they were able to basically not allow that law to pass. So I mean that's an example of like something that they do, but was there any like specific things about the department you wanted to know?
No.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Sure.